My main reason to come here, when I listen, about the history of Port Royal, I know that, in 1692, and there was a second earthquake in 1907, Kingston became a city. But Kingston became a city like maybe 200 years after the first earthquake. Can't go through the gate, but you can see St. Peter's Anglican Church was built around 1726. The original parish church of Port Royal, which was destroyed in the 1692 earthquake. The building was constructed using red bricks, and the walls were later rendered the original floor of altar in black. St. Peter's Anglican Church. So this is now the CMU building, and I'm carrying you to show where the Sunken City. So before then, the whole of here was water, So I'm trying to go a bit closer to see and show you. And if you notice, there are bricks here, so that would tell you that there are buildings used to be here. So if you look closely in the water, you see bricks and stuff. From the richest and the wickedest to Sunken City. In 1692. This was dubbed the richest, and the wickedest city. But after the earthquake, so you can see bricks and stuff where you know exactly that buildings used to be right here. The first football competition was held right here. Because the British, England is known for football. How's the Coast Guards? Jamaica could not have a Coast Guard here, because by thinking about it, we would not have any authority to manage this area. But now, after independence, spot it, that red thing, Sunken City. So this is where the British, where they used to look out that they can fire the cannons from, and that's what we say, from this building here, the shore was just 10 feet from the building here. The original cannon over there, replica cannon. Original cannon. So this cannon, could rotate 180. Take the shoreline. And the shoreline was close to the building here. So before you create a narrative that you don't know, you come and visit for yourself. Fort Charles, 10 feet from here, which should be about here from the building. So I guess these bricks were put after. And I'm gonna show you the reason why they call it the Giddy house. So as I said, this is the original cannon, which could rotate 180. There's a cannon up there. Or to demonstrate, so this building right here is called the Giddy house. Reason being, when you are standing in the building itself, you might feel a little bit giddy. So because the building sank, so when I walk, it may feel a bit uncomfortable to the body. So this is called the Giddy house. And the tour guide run a joke and say, Michael Jackson got his move from here. So before this was called the Giddy House, this was the artillery storeroom. These bricks came on the boat as ballast from the UK, and in return they would carry back banana and sugar cane. This was the commander's post. As you see the sign, yeah, tell the story. Yeah, this was the commander's post. Yeah, and the reason why the post was here, you know, is that the commander can look from that angle and see exactly what is happening out here. Yeah, so these are the shoes that the British used to wear. You know, as them look like two left footer shoes. Actually, left and right shoes wasn't around at that time. So if you put them, yeah, on the right or left, it will look the same way. Yeah. So this is the commander's post. Yeah. And these are, you know, replica of the wines that they used to drink. This skull was not just for demonstration, but they use the skull for protection. Yeah. We now would have call it maybe necromancy or something like that, but it was not just for showing. They thought that these things could protect them, you know. We don't want to go too deep into that because, you know, how Jamaicans think about those things. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, the officer's quarter sign is here, but this was actually the officer's quarter. Yeah, so they need to move this sign from here to here. Yeah. So this is Fort Charles, you know, and this is the history of Fort Charles. Yeah. Go and go over this little sign and see if we can get some history. So this sign said the ghost of Fort Charles, owing to 4 centuries of history and once being regarded as both the richest and the wickedest city in the world. It's no wonder Port Royal has its fair share of ghost stories. Fort Charles, too, has been the home of heroes as well as the site where many notorious criminals met their fate. Whether you believe in it, whether you believe in the paranormal or not, history is all around us. Admirals and pirates alike have walked these grounds. Right here where you walk today, these are the ghosts of Fort Charles. As you explore the fort, you will see how they live and died. You will learn about the legacy they left behind. And if you listen closely, you might just hear them speak. So this story here tells the reason why the British used to have the skulls close to them. Yeah. And this was a skull. These may be replica or just for demonstration, but they actually used to use skulls. Yeah. This was once Port Royal on the map. Yeah. So Port Royal used to occupy like 4,000 something people, and after the earthquake, yeah, or over 6,000, and after the Over 4,000 people died. Yeah. Drunken man ski. Yeah. So this is a little history of Fort Charles. Yes, I. Necessary house. Yeah. So this look like I saw them used to do them, post them letter, you know. Maybe that's why I call necessary house. Yeah. Don't quote me on that. It's because of how it look why I say that. Yeah. So after the first earthquake, there was also a tsunami, you know, and right here after the earthquake and the tsunami, yeah, this place was all sand. Yeah, this place was all sand. So how you could sit here now, you couldn't sit here then. I'm trying to get every little information. Yeah, every little information. So these cannon is to demonstrate, you know, that the British, yeah, the British soldiers could look out sea from every angle. You know, some of these cannons are replica. You know, some of these are here from them time till now, over 300 and odd years. Some of them, you know, they have to fix them up. Yeah, so that, yeah, on the tour, they could demonstrate to you what was then. You know, some of these boxes were used for artilleries. Yeah, yeah. I think the smaller box were used to store artilleries. The bigger ones used to store like water and rum in them. You know, the bigger wine. Yeah. My main reason to come here, you know, when I listen, you know, about the history of Port Royal. The earthquake, yeah, in 1692, and there was a second earthquake in 1907. Yeah. Kingston became a city. Yeah, but Kingston became a city like maybe 200 years after the first earthquake. When the English arrived in 1655, they established their base at Port Royal, or Kaga as it was called. They continued to use the Chocolata whole area for carrying ships and hunting turtles. Chocolata Hole was the heart of the bustling commercial city. They renamed the area Chocolata Hole, possible because it was the place where chocolate was loaded or unloaded from small boats. Port Royal in the 17th century was a busy commercial port, but the main commerce would have been in enslaved workers forcibly transported from West Africa. Yeah. Yeah. Port Royal was used for, you know, it was a commercial place, but it was used for also transport. It was a shipment from West Africa, yeah, to the Caribbean. So beyond the Fort Charles building was all Caribbean Sea. Yeah.